Hey, good morning. Good Saturday morning to everybody, and welcome back to Coffee with HDR here for another week. Man, another week. It says I'm on week number 36, man. 36 weeks of talking to all you great people out there and enjoying the day, sitting back here in the morning, have a little bit of coffee. And it's good to see everybody in there. I'm even seeing people in there from Minivan. We'll talk about Minivan here in just a minute. Let me go back up in the chat room and see who's in here this morning. We have Jeff Rice. Jeff Rice, you were number one this morning, the first person in the chat room, man. Thank you very much. Marcia or Marcia, Marcy. We'll get that right one day. We will get it right. A. Craig from Queensland, Australia. Welcome aboard the HDR community channel here. Nice to have you there. Be the Rider PA says it's going to be a hot one today. It's also going to be a very rainy one today. So if you're in Pennsylvania, you're getting your motorcycles out, take your rain gear with you because it's going to be a very, very wet day. Roguelite Andy, good morning. Jim Wilson, hello. BD Rider, nice to see you aboard. Mr. McStash is that minivan, which I'll talk about in a minute. And I see in one of his videos already, they are experiencing some rain. I think that's just Tazewell, Virginia is like a magnet for rain and just a very interesting place. NVA Rider, good morning to you. Let's see here. BD Rider, good morning. HDAV Traveler, Paul, good morning, Paul. Mr. McStash says, we are, it was nice till Jersey Nick's got here and brought the rain. That Jersey Nick, man, that rain travels with him a lot. Dusty Nguyen, good morning to you. Let's see if we got some more down here below. We got Tennessee Wingman. Hello. Happy to have you on board there this morning. Judy, hello. Rocky J, I see you're in there. Chuck, you're on board there from South Dakota, the home of the amazing Sturgis Rally. And Page Rides, good morning. My dumb life, good morning to you. Was supposed to be at the minivan, but had a wiring problem with the bike. That's not good at all. So let's roll back a little bit here. Let's start off with why is HDR not at minivan? Mr. G, we even texted back and forth, and you know, we had the invite out there. A lot of people wanted me to go down there and visit everybody. But this was the first week of school. So the first week of school is the first week that I actually have students in my classroom. It wouldn't have been a good idea to take a personal day on Friday to leave, or even like Thursday. I would like to have left on Thursday and been down there with everybody Friday, Saturday, and come home on Sunday. So I talked to Mrs. HDR the other night, and we were looking at it, kicking it around. I said, well, when I get off work, because I get home about 4 o'clock. I said, well, when I get home at 4 o'clock, you know, I'll just throw a bag on the bike. I don't need much. And I'll take off. It's only 300. For me, it's 360 miles, give or take. So I could have made that in no time at all. But sometimes the day, actually, when you're educating or when you're working, wherever you're working, whatever you're doing for a job, for life, the day is going to dictate what you're going to do in the evening. I came home and let's just say I just couldn't even keep my eyes open. It was just that first week is tough. You know, the first week is tough. You're getting new students in, you're getting them settled down, you're getting them to learn how you teach, and you're trying to get them to adapt to your way of educating. So it was a little bit of a stressful week there, but a good week anyway. Good morning. I see Bronco Rides in there. Good morning, Bronco Ride. You're right. Work always gets in the way. It just does. It just always gets in the way. So good morning, Henry. Yeah, now bringing schoolwork home. Actually, right before I went on live, good morning, DA Bishop. Right before, what do I teach? So my done life says, what do I teach? So for those that don't know, I teach cybersecurity and advanced networking. So it's all computer related fields. And I teach at what's called a CTC, a Career Technical Center. So those are the two classes or two subjects that I teach. And I generally teach students over, last year was 2 years. Now I'm teaching students over 3 years. So I got 3-year students in my classroom that, so the students range anywhere from 15 to 18. Okay. Sometimes 19. Sometimes that happens. But that's what I teach. And this is my second year. Bronco says he teaches live streams. I do teach on live streams, right? I taught that video editing session on a live stream. But, and, I think once you start teaching, and I've taught, a lot of you know that I have the other channel, 42 Techno Man, and it's, it's just a little bit over 22,000 subscribers on that channel. And I've been teaching on there for years. Been teaching for years. So I started originally teaching probably, 25 years ago. But I was teaching senior citizens how to use a computer because computers were new. They were buying them. They didn't know how to use a mouse or a keyboard or whatever. So I would do in-home classes with these senior citizens. And it's kind of where I started kind of teaching, I guess, not professionally, but definitely always exchanging information with the world. That's what I like to do. But Henry's right. I do bring work home with me. I say once school starts, and it's funny because people always say, well, you get 2 months off people used to say 3 months, but it's really 2 months, 8 weeks, basically. So you get 8 weeks off. Okay. You're not working. But when you're an educator, believe me, if you really care, you're always working. I was up this morning I got up about 5 o'clock and I started writing all my lesson plans for next week, which is only 2 days, 1 day away now, right? This is already Saturday. So you got Sunday, and then the kids walk in the classroom Monday. They want to be educated. They want something to do. So they want to be ready to rock and roll, and you have to be ready to go along with that. So it's not... And I've told them, and people have told me, we've had educators, I've seen educators leave over the years in different areas of schools, and they go back to, like, we can go back to industry. It would be easier for me to work in an office somewhere and manage a server. You can make more money, but at the end of the day, when the kids graduate and you hand that diploma out, yeah, there's no more reward than that. To see a kid smile in a chair and say, I got it. I understand. And these kids yesterday told me it's the first week. Okay. So the first day you teach like safety and the handbook, and you got to show them around, and get them to understand the handbook and what you can do and what you can't do in school, basic knowledge, right? On day 3, Wednesday, I had them in lectures and we started doing notes. And all my students already have 15 to 20 pages of notes in 3 days. So that's a win-win for me. They're doing a great job. Great group of gentlemen there. We do have one young lady in there, and that's wonderful because we're trying to get more women into the technology field. It's just kind of a man-oriented, man-dominated field, and we don't want that. We want more females in the field because females are, just very, very smart individuals. So good morning, Mike. I go back through some of these now. Windroad Therapy, good morning to you. And Bronco Rod said, morning, NVA Rider, good morning to you. Road Andy, good to have you on board there this morning. Trying to see if I missed anybody. Mike, good morning. I got you in there, Mike. And if I didn't call out your name, just throw your name in the chat room and I will call it out there because I'm just kind of following along here. Toby Northern, good morning to you. A lot of you might not remember, and sometimes I bring things up in the classroom and the kids go, boy, HDR, you're really old, because I have them call me HDR because it's kind of professional. So, but good morning, Money 7855. Good morning to you from Maryland. Maryland's rocking this morning with you and Bronco Ride in there. We are rocking, having some coffee. But there was an old show on when I was growing up. It was this kindergarten teacher, I guess. And now it escapes me what it was called. I don't know. Anyway, but she used to have this little thing at the end. She would hold this little, remember them bubble things? You'd make the big wand, make the big bubble. She would look through that so you would see her face. And she'd say, well, hello, HDR. and hello, Bronco Ride. And you would feel like in the TV she was talking to you. It was so cool. Very, very, very old show. What was it called? Romper Room. Yeah, it was called Romper Room. There you go. Mrs. HDR hit it from downstairs. No, she starts looking in the mirror, but then the mirror disappears and you can see her face. So you feel she's looking at you. So it was very, very interesting. But yeah, my students always tell me, there you go. Iron Bill 883 got it too. Romper Room. Remember that? Romper Stomper, Romper Do, Romper Stomper, I see you. Isn't it funny how you could pull something like that back out of your childhood? Man, I had to be what? Man, 5, maybe 6. You can remember that kind of stuff. It's crazy. Just to put it out there, I'm not going to show any pictures there because, they're proud parents. I'm letting them make all the announcements. But we had a new grandbaby the other night. How about that? That's kind of interesting in the HDR world here. We now have a granddaughter along with our 2 grandsons. And, we also have a step granddaughter too. So she's getting older though. But we got a new granddaughter baby. Grandbaby? That's a daughter? I don't know. Anyway, very, very cool. Mom delivered the other night before last at like 3:30 in the morning, or maybe that was yesterday morning. I don't know, however you look at that. Yeah, there you go. 341. It's exact. 6 pounds, 8 ounces. Just a little bundle of joy. I'm not going to give the name out over the air, but that's a parent thing. We'll let the parents do that again. But thanks everybody for the congratulations. Yeah, it's wonderful, man, having these grandkids, and seeing these grandkids come up. My oldest grandson now, actually, like, again, I have 2 step grandkids, and we love them just the same. But my son's son is going to be 5 years old. Myself and Mrs. HDR took the motorcycle down the other day down to their house to visit a little bit, and he wanted to come out on the front porch. And he wanted to see Grandpap and Grandma ride off into the sunset on the motorcycle, right? He's like, yeah, he's all bad. He wants to come out and see. So I went to, right before I hit the starter, he does this. And he puts his fingers in his ear because he knows those Vance and Hines Eliminator 400s. He knows those things are going to crack and it's going to be really, really loud. And he's holding his ears in, and I hit the throttle. Oh, boom, 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 boom. And he's just like holding his ears in. And I said, hey, little buddy, I said, it won't be long before you'll be jumping on the back of this thing, taking a ride with me. And I can't wait to get the grandkids out on the bike. Right now, actually, I got enough room. I could carry all 3 of them. I could put one behind me. He could be behind me. And put the baby and my other grandson's about 13 months, 14 months, 15 months, actually. I could put them in the saddlebags, and I could ride all 3 of them right now. Be pretty cool. Now, would their parents allow that to happen? Probably not, but NVA Rider, thanks everybody for the congratulations. Yeah, it's really, really super cool to get that call. Mrs. HD, women are different than men, right, guys? And we know that. There's a book that I read some years ago. It was called Women Are From Venus and Men Are From Mars. Yeah, or change that around. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And if you've ever struggled in a relationship in your life, I would suggest to read that book because it gives you a very good understanding of how the female mind works if you're a guy. And if you're a female, it tells you how the guy's mind works. Where guys are probably more absent-minded than females. That's just the way life is. I'm not picking on a sex. I should have Mrs. HR up here on the show with me because she's downstairs kind of chiming in, so we could get her on the show with me here. But okay, let's put it this way. I am more absent-minded than my wife. Okay, how about that? I'll pick on me. Men and women are very different. Not just body shapes, but their minds are wired differently. Anyway, so what I was getting at with that is Miss HDR stayed up most of the night the other night. She was texting the daughter back and forth. How you feeling? How you doing? How's life? Because you're not allowed to go in the hospitals now. We used to go in. I can remember decades ago, you would go in and you would walk in and you'd be sitting in this room and the baby be born. Everybody pulls cigars. Have a nice big cigar. Yes, the baby's here. And the dad never went into the room. That wasn't our place. We weren't allowed to go in there. But now dads are in there with their wives, which is good, right? It's a dual thing. So, but anyway, Roguelite Andy said, just Harley Day Rider, just get one of the carrying harnesses and strap them to your chest. There you go. I could do that. I could just put them on my chest and take them out, right? Take them for a little ride. Put a little helmet on them. Yeah, you got a helmet. You got to wear a helmet, right? Get a helmet on these kids. Watch out, Harley Day Rider. Yeah. So anyway, but those are just observations I made. So anyway, she stayed up most of the night. Well, where did I go? I was the dude. I'm the guy, man. I went to bed. I had to go to work in the morning, right? I got to go to school. So I was in bed. But anyway, so yeah, we are all a little bit different. Good morning, Greg. Nice to see you in there if I didn't catch you before. Just going through the chat room here to make sure I got everybody this morning and on here. You're sitting there, Dusty in the Wind, sitting there with his 8-year-old grandson while he eats his dippy eggs. Oh man, aren't dippy eggs the best? Now you made me want dippy eggs this morning. I'll probably have that for breakfast. See if we got some toast downstairs, right? Put a little butter and jelly on there. You put a little jelly on your bread to dip them in the eggs. Oh man, nothing like an egg yolk with grape jelly. Yes. You're going to be on the show in a minute with me. You're going to have to come up here and address the people and talk to them. So, but, where's Colin? Guys want everything they see. Girls want everything they can't have. Well, pains rods, I don't know. I think that goes both ways. I mean, I see a lot of things I want out there that I can't have. Or I could have it, and I know economically it's probably not a good idea to buy it. Maybe that's the point. And I think that's one thing as you get older in life and get more stable, and our kids grow up, right? Because my daughter will say that she's like, well, you guys can go out and get a new car, whenever you want. I said, well, you'll get that point, but right now they have little ones. So every bit of money you get in your life, in your wallet, goes to the benefits of that little one, because that's a little you. Right. We've all done it. So, we've lived a lot of years without doing things for us because you do for your children. And that's just why you have, and well, that's not why you have kids, but that's what happens when you have children. You tend to give them more. So good morning, Bodine 52. How are you? Good to have you on board there this morning. Yeah, Iron Bill says dippy eggs are the best. How many people do eat dippy eggs? That's kind of the topic of the morning. Dippy eggs. Everybody knows what a dippy egg is, I asked for eggs one day. Was it over easy? Was it over easy or sunny side up? I don't know. There's one where I think it's sunny side up, where they don't even cook the yellow. It was kind of gross because the white on the top of the egg's not cooked either, and it's just all this slime across there. It's really disgusting. Who needs to worry? We have such great meds. Pain rods. Pains are said with this when as we get older, we got better medications. Let's see here. What's a dippy egg? Yeah, see, there you go. What's a dippy egg? So dippy egg is an egg where you can take the bread and you smash that yolk and it runs all over your plate, and you can scrape it up with your bread and eat it. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Anyhow, just don't ever dip your bacon in your eggs. See, that's just wrong. You just don't do that. But so anyway, for all of yous, there's some proper English this morning from HDR. For all of yous out there, for everyone that's at Minivan, I hope everybody has a great time. It looks like you had a good turnout. I've seen some of the pictures already on Instagram from the hotel where you're staying at, right there in Tazewell. And somehow Mr. G has made his hometown like the hometown hub for motorcyclists. Did you notice that? I've been there twice now, once with Mrs. HDR and once with Bronco Ride and Road Glide Andy and Be the Rider PA and his wife. So I've been there twice, and I really know the town. Yeah. I've been to Pittsburgh, I bet you 500 times in my life, and I still don't know the town. So Tazewell is just one of them towns you just have to know. It's an amazing, amazing place. Very, very, very nice little town there. So, let's see. Dippy eggs belongs in grits. It's a southern thing. Tennessee wingman. Speaking of breakfast, HTR, we're only a week away. Oh yeah, Pains Rods wants to send me his breakfast order so he can stop by the house and eat. But I told you I can't. We only have 2 chairs, one for myself and Mrs. HDR. I don't want you sitting on the floor. That wouldn't be right. But no, I'll meet you. Where do you want to meet at? You let me know if you're in town next weekend. I'll meet you somewhere. We'll have breakfast. Right? I'll go buy you breakfast, Pains Rods. You don't get that offer very often. I will supply breakfast to you. Ricky, good morning to you. Nice to have you on board there. So let's go back to this grits thing. So when I was in Georgia, when I was in the military in basic training, they slapped this white thing on your plate, like slap, and you're like, what the heck is that? It kind of looks like, reminds me of like rice, right? But it's real watery, almost like oatmeal, but it's white. And it's called grits. And one of my buddies was from the South. He's like, hey, man, he said, just slap 3 of them or 3 of them packets of butter in there. He said, it'd be really good. Put a little pepper on it. And it was real good. And why do people call me? They know I do a show every morning from 8 to 9. 8 to 9. Don't call me. Don't interrupt me. Don't bother me. Except if you're in the chat room. So if people want to talk to me, they got to get in the chat room and talk to me. But don't call me on the phone. Anyway, but that was actually my daughter. So maybe Miss HDR will text her and say, look, he's doing a show, 8 to 9. I don't know. Maybe she's in another country and it's a different time zone. Maybe. I don't know. No, she's in PA. If the grits were water, they did not cook them right. Well, Tennessee wingman, it was in the Army. So we had some pretty good cooks in the Army, but we probably have some pretty bad cooks in the Army too. I mean, they're just slopping food on there and feeding us, right? We were young, but I tell you what, and a few of my students are going to the military, and they ask me a lot because I spent 12 years in the Army, and they ask me a lot of times, what it was like. Is it the one kid said, would you have as much fun as what they had on MASH? And I'm like, absolutely, man. It's about a bunch of laughs. And in our barracks, we had a still, and we would drink martinis at night. It's just like MASH. Yeah, man, sign up. No, I don't lie to my kids. Proctor, right? Let's all call him now. You see what I did? I just shut the phone off. Give me a call, man. Light it up. Now Anthony's calling. Pains Rides a text message. Look at these. Anthony's calling. Pains Rides. I tell you guys. Here, put the phone on silence. There. And turn it upside down. Now I don't know if you're calling. But if you'd like to call into the radio show, please do so. It's 1-800 Harley Dayrider HDR 555. Call me right away. The phone lines are lighting up, and we'll take callers this morning. No, it's okay. Anyway, you guys are just a riot this morning. Bodine says 1-800 call Jack. That's enough numbers. But anyway, let's see here. Tennessee wingman, you also had you were in the Army for 8 years. Thank you for your service, 1972 to 1980. I didn't get in the service until 1981. At the end of 81, actually, after graduation, it was 81 to whatever 12 years is. But anyway, Chuck, it was your new granddaughter. She wanted to talk to you and be on the show. Yeah, probably. You're probably right. She wanted to FaceTime me and be like, Pap, get me on the show. Callers would be cool on your show on HDR. I've been thinking about taking callers on the show. Years ago, I used to do live streams, and I would do Photoshop tutorials, and I took live callers from people that maybe didn't understand what I was doing. They would slow me down a little bit when I was teaching, And that was really, really, really cool stuff. I'd have to set up a couple more computers here. I'd have to put my mixer back out. I have a really big mixer to mix all the audio signals in, but I would take callers through Skype. I'm sure a lot of you know what Skype is, and you would just call my Skype name, which whatever it was at that time, and I would patch you right into the mixer, and we'd be able to talk back and forth. I think it was really, really cool, and maybe I will. Maybe I will if this thing keeps going on and we keep having everybody come back each week. I mean, we can always purchase a device that will allow me to take live callers on the show. Chris Caliente does it. Chris Caliente does it. If you don't watch him, he rides a Honda Goldwing, okay, but we love Goldwings. He takes live callers out on the motorcycle. He live streams on the motorcycle, and I need to get a hold of him and say, like, Chris, how are you doing this? Because that's pretty awesome. And he'll take callers as he's going down the road. Is it the safest thing in the world? Probably not. Is it the coolest thing in the world? Probably is. So, yeah, Tennessee Wingman, you're right. Thanks to all the veterans out there for your service. I know a lot of folks in this chat room has been in the military, and I do appreciate everybody. A Coast Guard for 20 years retired. Dana, good morning, and thank you for joining us here this morning. Bodine got some new pipes. I told him the next guy is going to love him. Yeah, he did get some new pipes on his bike there, so you might want to check out that video that came out yesterday. Friday was a release date on that video, and check those out. Those pipes are pretty amazing, and they sound really good. Money 75. Are you guys coming to Ocean City Bike Week? If Ocean City Bike Week falls in June or July, there's a good possibility that we can make it. If not, there's no possibility we can make it. So, unless it's over Christmas. If it's over Christmas, then absolutely possibility we can make it over Christmas break. But Judy, from Vietnam to Gulf War, very much. Thank you. Good thing Bodine is keeping its stock paint shots. Bodine has never had a motorcycle stock in his life, and he will never have a stock motorcycle. He won't. I know him very, very well. He will buy it, and it won't be stock long. It won't be stock long. It won't be stock long. Now, he might not do any stage kits until next year. I figure he'll do a stage 1 kit on that bike. This is my prediction. Write this down. By next July, there'll be a stage 1 done on the bike, on Duchess. There's already a stage 1 on Duke. So, but anyway, that's just my predictions. But you have to, a motorcycle, you have to put pipes on it. Folks, you have to put pipes on it. And I see my man's not in here this morning. He's not in there. He's probably still sleeping at minivan. But yeah, Bob Nelson. Bob, you need to get pipes on your bike. You got to have a little rumble under your butt. And why do people always say, how many people know what a sewing machine sounds like? I don't know. But you always get that too. You always get, the motorcycle sounds like a sewing machine. What the heck does a sewing machine sound like? I guess that's actually the lifters in a Harley. Okay. That's the lifters. Not the pipes. You'll always sound like a sewing machine because the lifters always rattle. And that's just the way life is. So, yeah, what's a sewing machine? A sewing machine is what I've been trying to buy Mrs. HDR. Now that we have 3 grandbabies, she's going to have to be like sewing some clothes, getting some fabric, start making these kids some clothing. She got to suit them up there and outfit them. We want them to be different than every other kid out there. Yeah. Sometimes, guys, let's talk about that for a minute. Bodine lost the camera. Okay. So he didn't technically lose it. He technically knew where he put it, and he technically could have went back and picked it up. But when somebody comes along and decides that they want your stuff more than you want your stuff, then they're going to take it. It's probably called thievery or stealing or taking something that doesn't belong to you. And really, it's a pain in the butt, that would happen. And that's just really, 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 really sad that something like that happened. But we all do it. We all do it. Look at Road Glide Andy's. Now, I don't know where Road Glide Andy's camera was when he filmed his opener. It could have been right by his driveway, by his house. I'm not sure where he lives opposed to that road he was riding down, but we all do it. I've done it hundreds of times. I take a camera out, either I put it on a tripod or I put it on. Where's my other thing at? I don't know. Where is he? I don't know where it is. Anyway, we put on a tripod, right? We open the little legs up. We put our little camera down by the road and we drive by it. Right? Well, the thing is you got to drive by it and get out of frame or it doesn't look right. So the camera's sitting there by itself, doing its little job. It's doing its recording, Now, what it's doing actually too is it's recording the thief that you're going to find one day and you're going to cut their hands off like they do overseas, right? If you steal overseas, they just cut your hands off. Then you can't steal anymore. So, but yeah, we all do that. And sometimes people steal these things. I usually do it though. And I don't know where Bodine was exactly when it was taken, but when I do mine, you'll see that I'm in them parks and I usually set it up on the one entrance. So when I go around, like I go around a roundabout, let's say, okay, I can still have a visual on the camera, but the camera can't see me. I can't remember ever setting it up on the road and just riding by it and leaving it there. But I shot a shot like that somewhere in Kansas. I must have been started the camera. No shot. I set up a shot like that. I'm going to try to bring this up here, Rick. Let's see here. So I can stop this for a minute. I set up a shot like that somewhere in Kansas, but I must not have started the camera. No shot recorded. Yeah, that's probably what you didn't do. You probably just didn't hit the record button. The pipes video, that should never had happened. Yeah, it just shouldn't. I mean, but, they were lucky. I did not catch them. Bodine does normally, he doesn't tell you much, but he normally does pack. And I don't know if you've ever seen it. Look it up. It's a Desert Eagle 50 caliber semi-automatic pistol. That's what he packs on it because he's a big guy. He can handle that in a shoulder harness. So if he can even like see a glimpse of your shirt, he can hit you. He can shoot things with that gun about 150 yards away. Pretty accurate. Big bullet, very big bullet. But yeah, don't mess with Bodine stuff. It's sad that people are like that in life. Oh, okay. Road Glide Andy, I just caught that. You said you had your wife with that. Very good. With your camera. So, but yeah, I mean, people steal stuff, but we all do those shots. I mean, I used to watch a guy and I can't remember his name now, but he lived in Hawaii. And I actually messaged him years ago when I was earlier in my motive vlogging setups, and he was amazing. He would take his GoPro stuff and put it in stores and show him opening the door and walking in. And then he would turn it as he was talking to maybe a salesman, right? Buying a part or something. He had cameras like put all over outside. And one day somebody did on one of his videos, it showed where they came over and said, "Excuse me, mister, you forgot to pick this up." And he's like, no, I was actually using that. But it was nice because he gave it back. So, anyway, Bodine did set up a GoFundMe page. It's called Bodine Fund the Camera page. So if you want to drop off a donation there, $50, $100, maybe $300, so you can buy a new camera, he would be more than happy to see that. Just saying. But anyway, no, probably does not. Hoping to be. Oh, okay. So Wind Road Therapy is going to Ocean City, and I thought, and I might have missed it, but I'm pretty sure Bronco Ride is going to that Ocean City meetup. I'm pretty sure he did say that. Bet the video shows up on Payne's Rights channel. That would be hilarious. That would be really, really funny. But anyway. Yeah, Bronco Ride is for sure going to Ocean City. So if you want to meet up with one of the Fireside Chat guys, Bronco Ride will be there, and he will be handing out stickers He will be handing out custom dynamic lights. If any, he'll be having a bunch of those in his tour pack, and he'll be giving different lighting kits out to everybody he meets. No, he won't. He might have discount cards though, which are just as good for custom dynamics to get some discount cards. See right here, custom dynamics. Yep, see. Custom dynamics works with a lot of a whole lot of different motive loggers out there, content providers, and we had Dave, the owner, on the show. That was super cool. But it's really nice, and I always appreciate them, sponsor my garage videos. I think it's cool that they do that, and I make it very clear. Good morning, trucking biker. Good morning. Yeah, Bronco Ride. You should be able to meet up with Wind Road Therapy when you're there, and be able to see them. Tennessee Wingman. I bought my 1911 with a little excessive, but now I'm feeling yeah. Yeah. I went to a gun store about a month ago, and I wasn't looking for guns. A lot of know that I'm big into fishing. Probably my fishing attraction or my fishing addiction is probably just as big as my motorcycle addiction. I love being on the water. I love catching fish. I love coming home and clean. I like the whole process. So I was probably there for fishing stuff, but I went back and I said, look, can you show me, or can you let me see a Desert Eagle 44 mag? And he goes, well, would you rather see a Desert Eagle 50 cal? And I was like, I heard they made a 50 cal. I picked up this gun, and I swear it had to weigh almost 4 or 5 pounds. It's huge. And I wanted one, because I always thought, if you're ever out somewhere and you need to pull a gun, why pull a 9mm that fits in the palm of your hand like a purse gun? You pull out a Desert Eagle, people are just going to drop their guns and say, yeah, you're cool. I'm not even going to mess with you. But I don't know how you would carry the thing. Yeah, like Clint Eastwood, you feel lucky, punk. Well, do you? When he tells that guy he has that 44 mag, he tells that kid, this gun will rip your head clean off your shoulders. That was probably some of the best lines in that movie, and then when he shoots him and he blows him clear off that deck into the water, that's amazing stuff. No CGI back then, right? Nope, that was real stunts, man. Real stunts. They didn't dream that up in the computer, that's for sure. So what else is going on? There's a motorcycle company out there. I stumbled on a motorcycle video the other day. Imagine that. And they're selling motorcycles brand new. They have a crotch rocket. They have a cruiser. And they had a couple other bikes on there. Their crotch rocket, brand new. Brand new. It's a 250cc engine, which doesn't sound like much, but it's pretty nice to ride around on. And they're selling it for $2,699 brand new. They deliver it to you in a crate, and you prep it and put it together and put oil in it and start it up and run it. I can't remember the name of it. I think it starts with a U. I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up. But definitely awesome. They have a cruiser type motorcycle. It's also a 250cc engine, and it sells like new for, I think it was $2,599. $2,599. And the guy was on there. They actually sent him a motorcycle because, he does YouTube videos. He's a influencer. He's big influence channel. I think this guy has 325,000 subs or something. So they sent them a motorcycle, and they opened it up. They showed you how to put it together. The windshield, the handlebars had to be lifted up and whatever. And they took it out. The only thing they said is it runs great. It feels fine. It's a motorcycle experience, but some of the build parts do feel like they're kind of cheap, because the motorcycle is definitely a cheaper brand. And you will, Bronco Ride. That's not the name. It's not You Will Die. That's not the manufacturer, Bronco Ride. But I was going to look into it. I was going to buy one just to kind of show it off and show that you could buy a motorcycle brand new, cheap, and have enjoyment out of it. And a lot of us get into that, and we can't all be Harley snobs, because when I first walked in a Harley dealer, and I did a video on that a while back, myself, Miss HR walked in. I walked in to buy a Honda Shadow. I wanted a Honda 650 Shadow. And the guy goes, we don't sell Hondas anymore. We only have Harleys. I said, well, let's go, Mrs. HR. We got to walk out of here. And we got to get out of here and not worry about this anymore. And the guy said, well, you can afford a Harley. I said, yeah, no, I can't. Because a lot of people can't afford a Harley, especially new ones, of course. But used ones, I find you can afford them. But Payne's Rods said, no, don't do it. Don't do it, HDR. Payne's Rods, do you know the company? Have you seen that company that sells those new motorcycles for like $3,000, basically? Just kind of curious. Yeah, we're looking for, if you seen my Instagram stuff with Mrs. HR sitting on bikes and she's a little interested. We're looking for either like a Honda 250 or Yamaha 250 or something just light, so she can start riding around the roads here, get used to it, ride out there with me. And then I'm sure she'll move up to one of the Harleys. She really liked the Street Bob. She kind of fell in love with that bike. So we shall see how how it goes. She has to make the first step, and get this. So one of the teachers at the school I teach at says, "Oh," she said, "HDR, HDR. I teach the BRC class." And Bodine asked me the other day, "What's the BRC class?" In Pennsylvania, that's the Basic Riders Course. And I was like, "Excuse me, I didn't even know you rode." She said, "Yeah, I just bought a new Scout, Indian Scout 666 or Indian Scout 60, I think it is. Maybe it's 60." And I was blown away, but she teaches. So I said, "You may be seeing my wife soon." Yeah, you're right, Bodie. Mrs. HDR looks cooler on the bike than we do. You're right. She absolutely does. And get this, here's one. One of my students come in the other day. He said, "I was looking at videos on dirt bikes." He goes, "And I stumbled across this video, some guy riding in Tennessee." He said, and I was like, "Oh no, where's this going?" And he said, "So I played the video on YouTube and I started watching." He goes, "I think I know that voice. I really think I know that voice." He said, and then he started going through the other videos of the guy's channel. Yep. He stumbled across my YouTube channel. So I think the best thing I could do since my kids found it is delete the YouTube channel and get rid of it altogether now and go back into hiding. I never say anything bad on my channel, though. I mean, it's very positive, upbeat. Everybody knows that with my videos, and they're very positive. They're upbeat, and they're always very, very clean. Kids are high school kids anyway, but I never say anything negative about school on there or my children. So, Paineswright said nothing like a girl on a motorcycle. That's right. That's right. And I told her now a great name for her YouTube channel would be Granny's Riding, right? Granny is riding. Granny's riding. It'd be a great YouTube channel. Jack, that lady was trying to, yeah, Henry was right too. There was a sales girl there that was trying so hard to sell him a trike. And she was trying really, really hard. She even offered at one point to go home with Henry, or go for a ride with Henry. She'd ride in the back with him. She didn't really say she'd go home with him, I guess. Maybe that wasn't part of the conversation. Anyway, but yeah. My wife got an Indian Scout 60, and they are a great bike, very fast. I think that's probably what Mrs. HDR is looking for, is something that, later on, something that is very fast. She is kind of a speed demon, and she does like to try to live life on the edge. So, yeah, the Scout 60 does have a lot of pep on it. I mean, all the chicks want Henry. You are right. All the chicks do want Henry. 888 Super Low would be an excellent bike for Mrs. HDR, the 883 Super Low. And that's not a bad bike at all. The only thing is, we want to make sure that she has something, at least, later on down the road, something with at least a 107 engine in it. And the reason I say that is, so when we travel, we can travel together and we can both ride our own bikes. So I want something with a little zip and little power. I know a lot of people she was sitting on a trike at first, and a lot of people seen that. Kawasaki Vulcan X is a great game changer. And we can look into the Vulcan S, definitely. I mean, it's she doesn't actually. My Mrs. HDR, if anybody knows, everybody see this picture right here? See, that is an Indian vintage. Okay, that's what that bike is. This was going to be, still maybe the second bike that we're going to have in the stable, because she really likes that bike. So she said that if she would ride, once she gets over the basic riding part of it, she really wants to get an Indian. So we could look at the Scout. That's a possibility, but I think she's going to want something a little bit bigger. A lot of people are talking about that Sportster S. I also talked about the Sportster S as a second bike here. I thought that would be nice. Mrs. HDR can be a speed demon on the Honda Rebel. She can reach 71 miles. Yeah. See what I mean? Tennessee Ring She can't be a speed demon on that. So that's why you want to start people off on a lighter bike, on a smaller engine motorcycle, so they don't eat too much of the throttle, right? So just something to think about. The other thing to think about, and I hate to see in motorcycle shops, and Harleys are horrible for this, unless they get a female salesperson. A guy walks over to a female I seen the other day in a Harley shop. He walks over and says, and she's looking at, she was looking at a, what was it called? The lowrider? Not the lowrider. Standard, a Softail Standard. I can't remember the exact name of it. He said, well, that bike's a little bit too big for females. You might want to come over here and look at a Sportster. Well, I've seen many women's YouTube channels riding road glides, ultra limiteds, and Be the Rider PA. When I first started looking for bikes, I bought a Sportster. I had it for 4 months. I told you I turned it in. I lost $4,000 on that deal. I ate that. And that's okay. I could eat $4,000 for stupidity. When you go, buy the biggest motorcycle you can buy that you can touch flat-footed on the ground. And Be the Rider PA was exactly right. He said you'll get a lot smoother ride out of a bigger motorcycle than you will a smaller motorcycle, right? But we all want to start small because I think we're scared. That's what it is. We get scared about something, and that's okay. That's why I bought the Sportster. When I came home, I told Miss HR, the first day I picked that Sportster, I was like, that's an amazing bike. I mean, the biggest thing I had before that, I had a 800, I think it was CC Suzuki, several years ago, because I took some time off from riding bikes. And I bought that 1200. That was a heavy bike, and it rode so nice. And I never had anything like that. So that's exactly why I bought it, and I didn't know any better. I mean, that's why I had it for 4 months and got rid of it and bought that ultra classic. But anyway, the Yamaha V-Star 650, pick one up for a couple grand and get your money back out of it when you upgrade. That's a good idea too. That's a nice idea. Yeah, see, Henry's biggest was I thought you had the 750, the 500, 7. But I mean, his last bike was the fat guy, fat tire, fat tires of beer. Anyway, but 650s are nice. A learner bike, yeah, 650 would be nice. Bigger bike, weighs more to push around. Hard for new rider. Money, you're right there. I mean, we met a guy the other day at the rib cook-off. He had a reverse put in his motorcycle, but it was absolutely weird. I mean, it kind of, and if you're on here, forgive me for saying this, but he had training wheels on. These training wheels are like, it wasn't training wheels. I guess it was stabilizer wheels. You put it in reverse, the wheels go, and there was 4 of them, 2 on this side and 2 on this side, right? And they came out from underneath his back floorboards. And then the bike backs up, and he could back the bike up. I don't know why you need those. I've ridden bikes before with reverse. You just tap it and you just kind of, it's just a reverse assist. And still, I would love to have that on my bike. My knees are getting so bad, and I'm very, very young as far as getting knee replacements. So that's not going to happen anytime soon. Good morning, Chad. Good to have you on board there. Let's see. Yeah, Chad's right too. The motorcycles that the Harley shop had, most of them was $2,000 over MSRP. And we talked a lot about that when we were there, because Chad was there with us at the rib cook-off. We met him and his wife. We spent a lot of time looking at the motorcycles. And here's another thing with Harley. It's every deal, not just Harley. I'm not picking on Harley. Everybody's like, you pick on Harley so much, you must hate him. Why don't you sell your bike? No. Every manufacturer does this. Why are we paying a prep charge and a ship charge, right? It's not getting shipped to my house. They're not going to bring it to me. It's sitting on their showroom floor. That'd be like going into a furniture store and buying a new couch, and they say, and you're picking it up, and they said, well, you got to pay, the $80 ship charge, because everybody pays a ship charge. Why don't they just add it to the price of the bike and be like, look, just add another $1,000 and don't even tell you what it's for. Because everybody right now is selling over MSRP. I don't know why. Supply and demand, maybe. Chuck, my wife started with a 450 Honda and then a 500 Vulcan, now a Kawasaki 1600 Mean Streak, then an Indian Scout, now an Indian Super Chief Limited. Well, your wife is a rider, man. Congratulations. That's wonderful, man. That's some nice bikes. Definitely had a nice way to ride there. So, debating with myself about moving from the Victory. Payne's Rods. I love the Victory. Your bike, when I started watching your channel, it was because you were riding that bike at the time. You and there was another Victory rider, D-Best 1A rides a Victory. I think his is a Victory. And another guy in New York rode a Victory that I watched. And he's no longer YouTubing. I haven't seen him around forever. Very, very nice gentleman, though. But yeah, I don't know what you'll be getting. I don't know what you'll be looking at if you're moving away from the Victory. If you want something a little bigger, I would say, and I don't know, no, your Victory's not fixed fairing, but I mean, you could look at the Road Glides. I would look at the Road Glides and look at the Indian Challenger. I think the Indian Challenger is a really nice bike. If you want to see somebody that rides the Indian Challenger, check out Salty and Sprinkles channel. They both ride Indians, and so those are just my recommendations. I like the fixed fairing now. I don't want to go too much away from that, but just because I feel it's easier to ride, it's easier to control slow speed. How about that? Maybe that's what I'm looking for, but I don't know. Yours is a 13 with 73,000 miles, getting long in the tooth. And Payne's Rise, did you buy that bike new? I can't remember if you bought it new or if you picked it up if it had another owner or not on it. I wasn't really sure. All right. Anyway, I'll give you 5 more minutes of my time because we are still hanging out here together. But let me tell you this. Today, the rest of my day is myself and my man, Henry, went out fishing last Sunday. Last Sunday. We got out. The fog was still in the water. It was amazing. What a beautiful morning to start fishing. The boat launch was absolutely flawless. We got the boat launch down now where I backed the car down. I hit the brakes once. You tap the brakes and the boat just slid right off the ramp like it should. We launched the boat. We go out. We start fishing. We start pounding them. I caught 3 crappie in probably 15 minutes time. Every time you throw the minnow out, boom, you would catch another crappie. So we started hitting them really, really hard. All of a sudden, and it's happened to us before, all of a sudden the fish finder says, no power. Bloop, it goes out. And Henry's running the trolling motor, and all of a sudden you hear, whoop, 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 whoop. No trolling motor. Battery's dead. Finished. Kaput. Gone. So today, my job is this morning is after the show here, I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to go to one of the auto stores and look for a deep cell marine battery. Now, if you think motorcycle battery is expensive, you haven't seen anything. I've seen marine batteries going anywhere from $200 to $1,200. So I got to pick somewhere in the middle and find something. But you want something to get out there on the lake and you want to run all day, right? You don't want to go out there and be like, okay, we got 3 hours to fish. We got to get them and get home. I don't want to do that. So, but anyway, Payne's Rod, you're going to work. It's Saturday, Payne's rides. Don't work on the weekend. I'm just kidding. I know what you do for a living, and two of my daughters do the same thing for a living. So go to work, man. We need you out there. Thank you for your service. Um, if you practice slow speed maneuvers, you can ride any bike. And yeah, PA Biker 65, you're right. I mean, because I had that other bike too, the Ultra Classic, and I did slow speed maneuvers fine. The best thing I can tell you that if you ever ride two up, go do some slow speed maneuvers with your spouse on the back. If you travel, go do some slow speed maneuvers with your spouse on the back and a full touring pack loaded, right? Load your bags up, put some clothes in there, I don't care if you put some books in there, put some weight on the bike and practice fully loaded. A lot of people don't do that. And then they practice like, I'm really good at slow speed. Then you get your wife on there or your husband and you're riding them down the road and you put a couple bags on the back and it changes the whole dynamics of the motorcycle, the weight distribution. So, and that does happen. So practice. Good morning, Orvis. Good to see you on board there. Truck and Biker, I think I said good morning to you. Thumbs up. Bodine, thanks. Bodine says, everybody give HDR a thumbs up for the weekend start here. It is nice starting the weekend with everybody and getting everybody out there riding, getting everybody out there getting the motorcycles warmed up. Bodine, when we went away together, kept yelling at me, said, don't you ever warm your bike up? I'm like, no. I guess I don't. I don't like, he starts his up and lets it run for a little bit as he's getting his gloves and stuff on. I put everything on, hit the starter button, and I go. I mean, I don't know. Is that wrong? Maybe. I don't know. In the wintertime, in my car in the wintertime, I definitely let it warm up a little bit just to get the oil moving around. But I don't know. I don't know. All your mechanics out there will probably tell me if you should warm your motorcycle up or not. But so get your motors running. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right back here on the Harley Day Rider channel. Yes, HDR. We will be hosting the Fireside Chat with the boys. Myself, Bronco Ride, Bodine 52, and that amazing motorcycle rider from Florida who rides around the toy hauler and takes her motorcycle to every major motorcycle rally, Win Road Therapy. If you're looking for her on YouTube right now, check out, put the dots in there. And I know, I yelled at her, why did you put dots in there? Wind.road.therapy. She will be on tomorrow night with us as our special guest. And again, that will be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please come aboard and join us for some fireside chat with the boys. It's always a good time. And remember, when I do these, nobody knows the questions. So they're all just lost. And they are some doozies. So I hope they can hold on to their hats. But we do appreciate everybody. So thanks. Everybody have a great weekend this weekend. Stay safe out there on the road. Remember, I always tell you, ride your own ride and be safe. Hey, and I will talk to you tomorrow night and then again next Saturday morning. So until then, be very, very safe out there. So remember, ride your own ride, be safe out there. Harley Day Rider will be down and out from the beautiful HDR Studios, along with Custom Dynamics here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Take care, buddy. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.